Well, there we are, ready for action here at Westhills Stadium in Langford, British Columbia, the west coast of Canada. Welcome to all our viewers. We're looking forward to great action here from the first day and the first match of the America's Rugby Championship 2014. You saw the rousing anthems of Argentina and the United States, the Star Spangled Banner. Both these teams really looking forward to this match. And it's a great start to what proves to be 10 days of some fantastic action here at the America's Rugby Championship. So the last time many viewers will have seen Argentina on their TV screens was a famous victory that we'll get into a bit later, but in the Rugby Championship against Australia. There's 6 men on hand here today that were involved in that, and they'll want to do well against their foes. Playing from right to left on your screens in the dark blue jerseys are the USA Selects, and Argentina will be in the blue and white jerseys. My name is Gareth Rees. I'm delighted to be joined by Bobby Ross, longtime Canada fly half, 57 caps for Canada. We'll get into it. Kickoff here from Adam Siddle. A high hanging kick to the right. Argentina gathers to their win. Isaac, early penalty. And the man in the middle there in the orange jersey, that is referee Aki from Japan. And Bobby, early infringement there, the Americans at the ruck going off their feet, I think.
Yeah, just a little nerve settling and good clearance by Argentina to start the game off there.
And the flag goes up. Our assistant touch judge, Chris Asmus, over there. So even though the ball barely found touch, because it was a penalty, it will be an Argentina lineout. So some of these men we were talking about, Matias Cortese, 11 caps for the Pumas. He's throwing in at the lineout with a very impressive lineout, and you see the shove there from Alemano. He's not taking any abuse at the back from the Americans. There is a throw, and it is Alemano who catches it. Good set piece work off the back. The runners being provided for Escura, the scrum half. He'll be key today. Another drive. Americans slowing up ball at the tackle. Escura again. First receiver, Fernandez. Does manage to offload, but good work again from the Americans trying to hold up the attacker. Simple stuff, a hit up from Paz, the Cordoba man. Good driving play. The Argentinians known for this. 2 meters from the try line. They're pressing, it's gone down, they're still short. Escura looks to go blind. It looks like it may have been knocked down by an American hand, but the referee says play on. So they've lost yardage, but there are numbers at the top of your screen. Simple hands, the fullback. Oh, hands wasn't enough. So the final pass from Morales was a touch behind his winger, and Bobby, it looked like Argentina would be the first to score there.
Yeah, it was. They did all the hard work, did all the right things. Just simple handling error, let him down at the end.
Now, obviously the Argentinians are great, very skilled side. What is it about the Argentinians? What style of rugby do you remember from your playing days?
Well, I mean, back in the day, and they're somewhat similar today. They're all very skilled. They're carry lots of fire into the game, and they started off that way today. They've just been on the front foot the whole time.
Definitely, and we're looking forward to their play behind the scrum. But in the scrum, we know they have a very big, powerful pack. As I said, 5 of their pack were playing against Australia last week in a famous victory in the Rugby Championship, their first ever in that. That's obviously the tournament with New Zealand, All Blacks, the Springboks, and Australia. So some serious power and experience up front for Argentina. The first scrum going down here. The U.S. have done a lot of work. Scrum half, Shalom Suniala, his brother not in the squad today, will be putting the ball in. A good hit, well controlled by the referee there, and there comes the shove from Argentina, but dealt with by the U.S., and they choose to hit up midfield, and why wouldn't they, with Andrew Suniala in there. Straight back to the kicker, Adam Siddall using the wind, and Bobby, there is a bit of a wind here. It's a bit of a channel comes through from right to left on your screens, and what are the tactics the teams will be looking for with that windy pitch here at Westhills?
Well, I mean, you'd think that the States get some possession in their half. They'd like to kick themselves out and get some field position. And on the other hand, Argentina likely will try to keep the ball in hand for the most part, which they've done well so far.
And you can see Argentina spread right across the field. And at the bottom of our screens, they have Barea just sitting on the sideline here. So challenging the Americans to defend forward. Again, Quality possession from Alemano. Midfield hit up. His second row partner Petty offloads. But it's a steal from the U.S. Choosing not to kick it. So good turnover work at the breakdown. And it looks like it was Sumison. And this time it's the U.S. attacking wide. Runners in place. And the Argentinians stepping offside. The referees let play go on. Good work there from the prop Wallace, a man who knows this area, playing his club rugby down at James Bay. In fact, BC champion last year. And it is Andrew Suniella deciding to use that wing. He hasn't found the ground, though. Morales looking to run back. A good run and a great offload, the one-hander. Good support from the fly half Fernandez. The arm goes out for the referee's advantage being played for Argentina. The Americans infringing at the ruck. This time Joaquin Paz is held up in the tackle, so the referee will come back saying the U.S. off their feet. Bob, it looked exciting. The Argentinians looked like they may have had a breakthrough after that counterattack on the long kick.
Yeah, it was great little offload in tight, good timing, and Argentina has come to play with the ball in hand today, no doubt about that.
And they'll have a great opportunity here, a line out on the 22. You see a bit of an injury to the prop, just making sure he's okay, and the rest of the team having a conversation about the line out. The referee urging them to get there more quickly. Cortese, 5 men in the line out. His first 2 have gone to Alemano. Again to the back, and again clean possession. But good line speed from the Americans to pressure, and they've got the result. The fumble in the midfield. The referee saying the man at the tail of the lineout, Bob, I think that's what he's calling, left the lineout too early.
Yeah, just a little too eager.
So a bit of jittery early hands as Argentina will choose to kick for another line out. Now, Bobby, over the years you've played many Argentinian sides, and they love this situation. 7 meters from the line. As you talked about the powerful scrum, they love to drive from here.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see this just get tucked up and by the forwards and just try to pound it over.
But possession first. It's a full line out for Argentina. There it is. And the referee saying not straight. So Cortese's not happy. This man's been around a bit, played for Bayonne, Gloucester, Northampton, and of course the Pumas. So a crucial mistake from the Pumas, letting U.S. off the hook. But not completely off the hook as they've got a scrum here, Bob, 5 meters from the line.
Yeah, great attacking ball. Great attacking ball. I'm looking forward to seeing what they got out wide left here.
Last time the Americans used Suniala midfield to hit up before they decided to kick. It is Shalom Suniala to put the ball in. He's appealing because they've lost the head. The power of the Argentinian scrum. Issa tries to go around the corner. He's stopped, does well to keep the ball in play. Then it's Baez. He's stopped. Good hands to midfield. Beautiful hands from the hooker to keep the play alive. Any kind of quick ball could be trouble. There's numbers up top, and they have moved it wide, and this time they hold on to it. Good team play and great team try for Argentina. It is Dan Isaac, the Jockey Rosario man, who dots it down, but excellent work from the midfield break and the midfield attack.
Yeah, no, that was good stuff, and simple hands created the space out wide, finished off very nicely.
Yeah, it was the stolen head, so the U.S. not prepared to defend. They did fairly well stopping the blindside attack initially, but once it came to the midfield, really nice little pass from Mateus Cortese, the hooker making up somewhat for his missed lineout previously. He put it through the midfield, and then it was, in the end, a long skip-out pass, but there were 2 or 3 who could have run it in. So, Bob, what will the American captain be saying to his team under the posts, waiting for this conversion to come?
Well, it's early days, but I think just wants to settle his boys down, tell them to stick to their process, and probably play a little more field position would be my suggestion.
Yeah, several times they've had possession and not used the the wind at their backs. And a beautiful kick from the sideline. The wrong sideline for him, a right-footed kicker. So the extra 2 points added. The initial score there. The try by Isaac and the conversion makes it 7-0. So U.S. trying to get back into this game. Again, the high-hanging kick to the right. Argentina get the pod there. Good teamwork from them. And look at the options. Now they're feeling it, I feel, Bob. There's lots of men looking to run. Good step out of the tackle. That's the center, Ormison. The Argentinians play with such urgency when they get going. Again, numbers out wide, and there's the overlap, but the fullback, Morales, puts it down. So the referee's going to come back. He's not a really talkative referee, this one, but he had his arm out for a penalty at the breakdown. So despite the overlap that the Argentinians created and then spurned through a knock-on, referee's coming back for the initial infringement. And he will have a word with Louis Stanfield, the American captain. And Bob, what's your feelings on that? He played a good advantage, the referee, but it was only as the result of a mistake by the Argentinians that the advantage was over. Do you think he should have let him play on?
I don't know. I think he's setting his tone early. It was a good call, and Argentina is likely going to get some very good attacking position here off the lineout.
A great strike, the big left foot.
That's a
Beautiful
significant
kick.
breeze. He's kicked into, so that's well done.
So again, the Argentinians slowing down the lineout, walking. There's a shoelace. The referee's allowing them to take time off for a shoelace, which isn't always the case. But the 5-man lineout ready. Again, Cortese, the provider. He has Alemano in there. And the big number 8, Issa. Good movement. And there's Alemano again. Despite the pressure, scrum half gets it away. This time choosing to go wide, and great pressure from the Eagles and good line speed as Philly Kitonga steps up, and they've got the turnover ball and advantage after the knock-on. So they're going to try and create something here. U.S. with possession. Suniala out to the midfield, and there it goes down, and the referee will go back for the original knock-on. So, Bob, impressive defensive work there from the U.S.
Yeah, it's a good read by Feliki Tonga coming in and taking man and ball, and results in their put in.
Man from the Metropolis Club did really well. And U.S. unlucky not to get that ball away a bit quicker. So, interesting tactic. That's really the first time we've seen the Pumas go wide off first phase, and it didn't pay off for them. Sorry, it should be the Argentina Jaguars. They're not the full Pumas here today. Another scrut going down. As we've seen, the referees very much controlling these situations. The players will be touching, and the scrum half will be proceeding on the referee's instructions. Seems to have cleaned things up a bit, Bob, at scrum time.
Yeah, no, it looks solid out there.
Stanfield back to his scrum half. The simple scissors. There's the big man again. Philly Kitonga. Didn't have much pace on it. But there's numbers. They're calling for the ball out wide, the U.S. Breaks one tackle. Gets it back inside. That was Hall. Well, shouts of Arriba here as Argentina on the front foot in defense. Now the U.S. forwards choosing to drive. Suniala pushes it out wide. There's options midfield, but no holes there. Suniala choosing to go to the top of your screen, and there was nothing on there. And Bob, we've both been in that situation. Siddall, seeing there was no options, just decided to gain a bit of territory.
Yeah, and unfortunately it wasn't the best execution of that skill, but still, I think the U.S. would be, in that sort of situation there. Fullback was covered deep. Just keep it in hand, recycle, and just be a bit patient.
Did you think on the initial attack that maybe the ball could have gone a bit earlier to the wingman?
Yeah, possibly. I mean, they ended up doing quite well out there. Recycled it well.
Well, back to Argentina lineout. So despite the territory gained, it is possession given away. Options midfield. Paz brought down though. And the Argentinian forwards have realigned to the top of your screen, and there are some numbers there. Tazy's brought down. Good hands midfield and good powerful running from the captain. That was Baez. And this time the chip through from the Argentinians, but well gathered by Mopan. Tim Motan, the U.S. winger, is doing his best to get it back with the long reach, and he does. Immediate support from the U.S. forwards. Suniala goes wide. And again the kick from Adam Siddle. This time at least forcing the Argentinians to turn. And with the return kick, he's got possession back. So a better executed kick and a better result for the U.S. Well, good to see here, Bob. There's a bit of wind still, but the sunshine is coming out here. We are playing at Westhills Stadiums in Langford, BC, the home of Rugby Canada, on the west coast of Canada. And we are playing on field turf here, so artificial conditions. Both these sides getting more used to this this artificial turf, and with the rain we had this morning, Bob, perhaps it's a good thing that we're playing on the turf.
Yeah, absolutely. It was not good conditions early this morning, but things are dried out now, and the conditions underfoot are actually perfect out there.
Yeah, and poor execution from the U.S. at lineout time. Argentina back on the attack. Lots of options. Cortese brought down. The U.S. have stolen the ball. Good work from Cullen. Couldn't make much of it, but that's 3 times in this match the U.S. have stolen the ball, and the advantage arm is out for U.S. They've gone wide. The hooker puts away Philly Katonga. Good yardage to them. Now inside the 22. U.S. pounding at the Argentina line. Good support around the ball, and again the arm is out for an Argentinian infringement. Advantage being played. The cross kick is called. Will it go into the hands? Mopan catches. Can he rob out of the tackle? And he does. Great spinorama and a well-deserved try for U.S. right under the posts.
Yeah, USA showed some great confidence there, and the willingness to go wide, take a chance, and it sure paid off for him.
Good vision, Bob, there from Siddle. He's put in a few kicks that were maybe questionable. That one was perfect. The few Argentinian defenders that were there were up flat, and he just nudged it in behind him, and beautifully weighted and beautifully gathered by Mopan.
Absolutely spot on.
Well, Tim Mopan, no stranger to the big stage. 6 caps for the USA Eagles, the Trinity College product. He did well there, and it wasn't over when he caught the ball, was it, Bob? He had a couple of men to beat.
No, absolutely. Beat 2 guys, and as you said, did the Savardian spinorama under the post. Very nice.
That's a hockey term for you south of the border. And Adam Siddle adds the extra 2 points. So U.S. right back in this match. Just under 20 minutes gone here, and the Argentinians have turned the ball over several times. That time a really good steal by Cullen in the middle of that ruck got the U.S. going. Here's the hanging restart. A bit of miscommunication from the U.S. players, and it's knocked forward by the dark blue jerseys. But Argentina will take the advantage through Matias Diaz. Powerful running. Finally wide. Again, go tacking with the flow. Paz tucking it in. Good realignment. That time it's the winger, Facundo Barea, coming off the sideline. Great communication from these Argentinian players. And there's the result. A good inside ball. The initial one goes to hand. The second one isn't knocked on, says the referee. So still Argentina possession, 15 meters out. Big hit there on Barea. We're now in, the ball's lost, but the referee says there was an American hand in there. Quick tap. But the referee's going to bring him back saying it's not through the mark, and he wants to have a word with the American players, perhaps for not rolling away, but definitely for a hand in the ruck there. And Argentina choosing the line out. So they've executed well in terms of possession, but haven't been able to get that drive going. Looks like they're going with a full 8-man line out here. Again, just over 5 meters out. And really frantic stuff from Argentina, but not able to find a hole in the American defense.
And U.S. has stepped up in defense and, you know, really, for the most part, shut the RGs down.
So this time the target is the open side. Ortega Decio. Look at that, formed up. He's got the tank commander in the middle, and then the big driving Argentinian forwards. Can they get this going? Is the referee going to warn them that it stopped? No, they're still moving. They're 1 meter from the line. It has gone down. Play on, says the referee. So it's a ruck situation. Really scrappy stuff. Argentina's struggling to get the ball back, but credit the Americans. And I think the referee signaled a try. Tough for us to see from our vantage point. A bit of argy-bargy after the whistle. And the try has been given to Argentina. And a little bit of a chat with the referee. I don't know if it's a discipline issue or some translation coming in. Mateus Cortese definitely not happy with what's going on at the breakdown. And you know, Bob, this happens. We face this a lot. This man's just come off the biggest stage in world rugby, beating Australia, and maybe he's a little bit of intimidation here for referee Aki.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, he's certainly used to a higher standard of refereeing, likely in that in the rugby championship, and maybe trying to impose his will on him a little, for sure.
But in the end, it is Argentina with that driving play, getting over the line. Couldn't quite see the number. Looking for a second conversion, similar position, and it is good. A beautiful strike. So 14-7 again. Argentina back on top. Fernandez with two beautiful conversions. Adam Siddle to restart, this time looking left. And he does, trying to hang it up. It's long and it's high. Good pressure from the try scorer on the wing, but the Argentinian forwards immediately there to secure possession. And the referee has stopped it, and it will be a turnover again for the U.S.
Yeah, just what you want after being scored on. Just get right back in the opposition's 22 and see if you can get on the front foot here.
So credit to Tim Mopan, a much bigger man. He was charged in bringing down, and he did it. The U.S. will have an excellent attacking scrum position inside the 22 meters. See a bit of communication there between Matt Trouville, the man from Seattle. And again, Siddle looking for the space. Suniala to put in. Again, a questionable hook, Bob, by no means clean. Off the wing again, it's Mopan. He's brought down, but it's nice quick ball. There's options in the midfield, but it's spilled forward by Harriman. And Argentina running from their own end. Great opportunity to attack on the turnover ball. And there's a hole. Late in defense, it is the scrum half. And he looks for support, and he's got it through his number 8, Isa. He's brought down again, quick ball, so that's going to be a penalty, and it could be a sin bin. The arm is out, advantage still being played to Argentina. Cortese, good running from the captain, Isa. Oh, the inside ball from Fernandez. Nice stuff. Good movement, the blind winger coming in there, Isaac. So many options for the Argentinians, and they do get it out wide to the big man, to the prop. He won't be stopped. Matias Diaz over in the corner. Good vision from the inside backs. And Matias Diaz was left with a one-on-one that nobody would favor, Bob.
No.
The big man 5 meters out.
Yeah, especially myself.
Fair enough.
A great break from Escura off that off the turnover ball. I think everybody thought they were going to go wide. He just stepped off the base, dragged the defense along, saw the hole, and away he went.
Yeah, and the hole was created. Looked like maybe the the American midfield was up too quickly, and that left the forwards to cover a hole that they couldn't. So Matias Diaz, the man with 8 caps for the Pumas, played last year in the Rugby Championship, and of course spent much of this year with the Otago Highlanders in Super Rugby. So no stranger to the very highest level of rugby, and in that situation, not found wanting 10 meters out with only a wing in front of him. And for the left footer, Fernandez, this is the correct side for him.
Tough win, though. It's going to want to push it out from the post.
Oh,
great strike.
Just like the old days, eh, Bob?
Yeah.
Right down the middle. When you're hitting it well, it goes. And that's a third great conversion from him. So, Argentina gripping control of this match. 21-14. Sorry, 21-7. Americans guilty there of a defensive lapse, and outside of this quality, Bob, they're going to punish you if you don't make your defensive assignments.
Yeah, no, they're just good at the little things, and it showed there.
Again, the ball mishandled by the Argentinians. That was Barre, and the referee saying it went forward off his shoulder, which is a knock-on. So really a schoolboy error, Bob. 5 meters out. The U.S. a chance to get right back in this game.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure the Argentinian coach is pulling his hair out right now for that basic mistake, but it's another great opportunity for the U.S. to get right back in this.
Any consolation for Facundo Barrea there is a bit of a gusty wind here, and perhaps not able to judge that very well. Referee wants this one reset. So the U.S. have had trouble striking the ball, getting a clean hook, with great pressure being applied by the Argentinians. And of course it is a big trait, Bobby, of the Argentinian game, their scrummaging prowess.
Yeah, I mean they're world renowned, and give any of the top sides in the world, they've got their hands full with them, that's for sure.
Yeah, and Bergamaschi, the full Pumas coach, it's a big, I think, revival in their game, and they've made it a priority again with young players, and they use the ARC, the championship here, to test those players. And there it comes, more pressure for the U.S. And you see how disruptive that. And Bob, we've been behind scrums like this in the past where even though it looks like it's just narrowly disrupted by a few inches going sideways, that makes it difficult for the scrum half, which makes it difficult to get clean ball away.
Exactly. It just gives the defense that much more time to get up in your face. So clean ball off of this. This is a great attacking scrum here. Great spot. If they can get clean ball, they've got Mopin lurking in there behind 10, and I'm sure they're looking to cut a hole in the middle there somewhere.
So will be Matt Truval at the back of the scrum, see if he can get any pickup from the base. Suniala to put it in. That's a cleaner strike for U.S. They've gone open despite the wheel, and a big midfield hit up through Suniala. And unfortunately, after Andrew Suniala did some good work, his brother Shalom just knocked it onto the base of the scrum, trying to clear it away quickly. So an American side that not only they obviously here competing in the ARC, but fighting for spots in the big event in North America this year, where the New Zealand All Blacks will be coming to Chicago Soldier Field. And very much Mike Tolkien and his team looking at these matches for the domestic-based players to prove themselves and raise their hand to get into that game, and it will be a historic moment. Over 50,000 tickets already sold in the home of the Chicago Bears. And Bob, wouldn't that be a luxury to be able to play a game with that attitude?
Yeah, especially at home. It's going to be a huge event.
Well, a free kick at the scrum time against Argentina, so a quick tap and go from U.S. 3 meters out. They're lining up with their forwards. The ball goes wide to the flanker. That's Sumcian. Again, slow ball. The Argentinian players lying on the wrong side, trying to get out. Finally, Suniala can see it. And a penalty against Argentina. This close to the line, I wonder if There may be some question of a professional foul and maybe a yellow card coming out. So, penalty to the U.S. They're back in their own lineout. They're taking the lineout, looking for a drive. They've got some big targets in there, and Cullen and Harriman. And also Trouville at the back, number 8. So, see if they can respond to the power showed earlier by Argentina. U.S. to throw in. Phil Teal. Oh, not able to hit his target. And great pressure at the front of the lineout from Guido Petti. That is world-class stuff. And he's stolen that ball for his team just when they needed it on their own try line. And the referee's going to go back for the very first knock-on by the U.S. So again, Bob, the Americans not able to execute at the key moments.
Yeah, it was outstanding work at the front of the lineup by Argentina to get up in front of that. But yeah, they'll be not happy that they blew that opportunity.
The ball's slightly underthrown there from Phil Teal. This man's got experience. I mean, Teal's been to the World Cup. He played all 3 matches down in New Zealand. Just come off a trial with the Saracens over in London. So he'll want to improve that effort on his throw. But scrum Argentina. 5 meters out from their own line. The wind in their faces. That one goes down. It will be reset. You saw Facundo Issa have a little bit of a look up as that scrum went down. So, of course, this is game 1 of 2 games here at the America's Rugby Championship. Argentina against USA, and later on Uruguay and Canada. And what a lift for Uruguay today. Qualifying for the World Cup with a famous victory down in Montevideo against the Russians. So they will be heading to London 2015, and congratulations to all of them. Apparently they were going ballistic in Montevideo, Bob, and delighted to get the second win against Russia.
Yeah, no doubt. That's a huge thing to qualify for. And I mean, they missed the odd one, so
yeah,
they'll be happy to get back there.
I wonder if that'll spur on the Uruguayans playing later on today against Canada. But right now it's Argentina on their own line. Scrum goes down. Escura at the back. It's collapsed. The referee will let them kick it away. And the left-footed Fernandez, as he's done from the ground, is sweet and at least gains 22 yards against the wind. So you got to credit the Argentinians at this stage. They've managed the clock, the tempo of the game. They've obviously got 3 tries on the board. So they'll be very happy as we're getting in close to the first half here. You hear all the chatter out there. Some disorganization. 2 Argentinians have left the line out. U.S. off the top ball. Again, wide. Fullback hits the line. Good step from Hall, but he's gathered immediate support from the U.S. players. The referee's coming back. The midfield offside, so potentially a kickable situation, a penalty. 3 points. Oh, a little bit of push and shove and a flop by the Argentinian player. Referee's all the way back on the other side of the field saying not 10 for the Argentinian backs. So U.S. will have a choice to either kick the 3 points or maybe take it to the corner again for a lineout. Let's see. And Stanfield, the captain, has pointed to the post, so it will give Siddle a chance to claw back 3 of the points.
Yeah, not a bad idea. Just get a little reward for all the hard work down there, and get trim that score line a little bit.
Yeah, I think coming away with something after all that effort is important. U.S. Going wide first phase. When the U.S. really built off their experience here at the ARC last year, they beat Canada, they beat Uruguay, and played some really good rugby. And then they went on in the summer to beat U.S. down in Canada down in Sacramento, which was a big result for them. Oh, there's the missed kick. Bobby, talk us through that. You must know what that feels like.
Yeah, well, hopefully not too much, but he came across that a little bit. Maybe just tried to smooth it through too much instead of popping it. But
and for those who haven't kicked a rugby ball, it's just like a golf shot, isn't it? Sometimes you just hook them.
Exactly. Same mechanics, actually.
Yeah. Wind picking up here, and Fernandez with a beautifully long kick right back to the 22. U.S. putting it high. Probably a bit too far. But a poor pass. Morales pushing it wide. To Isaac. He's brought down. Back in the pocket, Fernandez. Again going long, perhaps happy to chew up this clock a bit. That one stays in, though. There's pressure there that must be offside. There's no way he was behind the kicker, but the referee's saying play on. So good opportunity here from the U.S. Argentinian all offside in the midfield, but Suniala almost breaks it through. A little high in the body position there from Cullen. So he's driven back. Argentina well offside midfield, Bob. The referee not turning. Everything's happening behind him.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's why there's no space here. The Americans being met immediately, and that's why this is happening. But Siddle has to kick. So sometimes if the referee isn't looking after you, you're not left with a lot of options.
Exactly. Yeah, they paid the price there.
The Argentina looking for a quick line out, and they're allowed to. Good offload from Morales. So showing their intent to play the game at tempo. The try scorer, Diaz, driving up. Good help from his mates to get that to the ground. Hernandez in at scrum half. He gets it away. A little bit static midfield. Cortese. And not a lot of options there for Escura. And a few Argentinians nursing some bumps out here. They're looking for that inside ball. They've spotted a hole on the inside, that comeback ball from the Americans, and they're trying to work it. But right now, they're not getting any success. And they may be turned there. It looks like they are. Great turnover from the U.S., and there's no one home. So Suniala wisely kicks it long as Argentina were in attack formation with no fullback.
Yeah, good decision. Good awareness that there was no fullback in there, and I'm sure he would like the kick to go a little deeper, maybe stay in, but net result's not too bad.
And in the modern game, Bob, teams get as much inspiration off that kind of performance there. Good, solid defense, 3-4 phases, and then the turnover, as they do with scoring a try sometimes.
Absolutely,
so
yeah.
That's one thing I think the Americans, I was alluding to their performance in Sacramento where they beat Canada. They found something. They found a belief and a way to win. They're winning close matches, and full credit to them and Mike Tolkien, their coach, for really building on this. And they really value the ARC championship here, not only for that game against the All Blacks, but for building all their domestic players. Again, scrappy, but one at the back by Argentina. This time the scrum half takes it on himself to kick. And this time the referee does spot the Argentinian runner who was ahead of him. And U.S. looking for a quick tap, as is their right. So the winger has to be behind the kicker. In that case, wasn't. Quick tap and go from a penalty. That's a strange decision, Bob, given they just kicked 3 points.
Yeah, or attempted to anyhow. But
yeah.
No, change of tactic. Little space.
Oh, he's going to prove me wrong. Through the gap.
There you go.
London, Chad London with a beautiful don't argue. So simple hands through the middle. Didn't look like much was on. But the man from currently playing for Glendale just slipped his tackle. He stepped outside and put the hand in the chest, and it was a beautiful handoff, getting the U.S. their second try.
Yeah, that quick decision to tap and go, maybe just catching Argentina a little asleep there.
And look at the conversation we got going on here. The referee again getting some pressure.
Take it. I make sure.
They want to see from the referee, and with, Cortese is really taking some liberties here. He's not the captain. Rodrigo Baez is there, and it's about the third time he's had an individual conversation. So, despite what he was involved in last week, it's his time to get down and play and not tell a referee how to do his job.
You never did that, did you, Gareth?
Never. Best seat in the house, Bob. But great work, excellent response from USA. Crucial timing as well before the half here. They're back on the board. This time a much better strike. Straight down the middle. And a shout from the US bench as Siddle gets the extra 2 points. So 21-14. Argentina over the US. 5 tries in this first half. Great action so far. Lots for the local fans to cheer on. Bob, and you and I are both from these parts. Great to see international rugby on the Vancouver Island here.
Absolutely, great to have it here, and wouldn't be happening without all the support that Langford's given in the Westhills Stadium. It's hopefully it's going to lead to some more stuff here.
Well, in fact, it has. The women's sevens have been announced. Will be here for a stop on the World Sevens circuit. As play resumes, good take from Trouville. And good support. Look at that support from the Americans protecting the ball. This one's gone down the middle. A bit of a wobbler, but Hernandez is waiting for it. Again, beautiful high strike just outside the 22, so it can't be marked. Trouville again. Backed himself on the wing. That one's just gone forward. Touch judge, I think, has helped the referee. Dave Smorczewski, Canada's most experienced referee, doing his part as an assistant official, just letting the referee, Aki, know that it had gone forward. So, good break there from John Cullen. Again, the man who's no stranger to high level. He had a little trial in the NFL. Very good athlete, but he's now currently in Seattle with many of these American players playing for the Seattle Saracens. Interesting to see the technique there from Facundo Isa, the number 8, joining his team. And look at that power. Look at that total control. Looks like the old days, Bobby, when they used to hook with their head. That's how low they are.
Yeah, they're down there.
Yeah. This time Escuras thought there was room on the blind side, but there wasn't. It was blocked and gathered. So another turnover by Argentina. Numbers out wide. That could have gone early. Fullback Troy Hall stepping out of one tackle, but dealt with. Good intensity here from the U.S. They're upping the pace on all these turnover balls. Side to side at the moment. And there's Suniala. He does get an offload in the end. To the hooker, Phil Teal. Excellent phase play from U.S. Nick Wallace carrying hard. Ball comes back. Again, it's a right-left attack in the moment, Bob.
Yeah.
Suniala breaking 2 tackles, but brought down the inside ball to Ali Khalifi. And finally, it's lost forward. So again, credit the Argentinian defense. And I think the referee's going to call time off here. A couple of players down. The Americans on the ground getting some treatment.
Halftime.
And he's called halftime. So there it is. So after an impressive Argentina start, 21 points on the board. U.S. with 14. An excellent first half. A few mistakes from both sides, but outstanding action here at the ARC. And we will be back to join you with Brian Kelly down on the sideline.
Thanks very much, guys. Brian Kelly down here at the sideline. Joining me now is Tom Jones, IRB Regional General Manager for the North America and NACRA region. Tom, tell me a little bit about the importance of this tournament with Canada, USA, Argentina, and Uruguay.
Well, it's a very important tournament for the high-performance programs of all the unions, particularly this year because it's the year leading up to the World Cup. So all of the unions here find this extremely key to their high-performance programming.
Uruguay just qualified a few hours ago by beating Russia on an 8-point aggregate. Is that the sort of development you guys are looking for from this tournament?
Well, sure, and they will bring some of that team up to play here in the next matches of this tournament. But certainly, to have 4 teams from the Americas going back to the Rugby World Cup is an indication of how this tournament has really helped those unions to achieve the goals for themselves and also the goals that the IRB has for them. So it all adds up to a very successful outcome for the investment that the IRB puts in.
And we got great weather here in Langford. Tell me about the facility and how it's nice being back here in Langford.
It's fantastic. The city of Langford sets the tone for high performance centres for the whole world. It's really outstanding. The cooperation of the city, the work of Rugby Canada, with the help of the International Rugby Board, has really produced a superb place where high performance daily training environment can be achieved very readily.
Thanks very much, Tom. We'll be back in just a minute with kickoff of the second half. USA trailing Argentina in the first game of day one. Back to you guys.
This America's Rugby Championship match is brought to you in part by Check TV, Helijet, Eagle Wing Tours, Tourism Victoria, Canadian Direct Insurance, the Bouchard Gardens,
in Langford, BC. That team, Argentina, are in control at the moment, 21 points to 14 over the U.S. Selects. Been an excellent first half, filled with action here at the America's Rugby Championship. The crowd assembled here before the second fixture to take place, Uruguay against Canada. But Bobby Ross, I'm joined beside me. Bobby, 57 caps for Canada, 5 tries in the first half. It's great to see this kind of action. And what's your take on the first half so far?
Yeah, well, I think it's a pretty fair scoreline, to be honest. Argentina probably had the edge in possession and opportunities, but the U.S. defended very well at times. They were up in their face, stopped a few attacks on the outside, and took their chances well. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here.
Yeah, and how about this man with the yellow boots?
Yeah, very spot on so far. Perfect off the ground, and certainly he's got a big left foot on him and can get Argentina out of trouble.
Nice coif on him as well, Bob. No collar up, but
no.
He looks the part.
Yeah, lacking hair product.
And there it is, possession right off the tap back, infield to Petty, who was excellent in the first half. Inside the 22 already. Here comes the buzz. You can hear the Spanish. They're demanding the ball. There's options. There's hands out wide. 3-on-1. The big man is tied up. Morales offloads. They choose to go blind again. Back inside to Isa. Real energy from the Argentinians to start this second half. Driving play midfield, but again, the Americans doing well to hold him up. And they've stolen the ball. That's through Trouville, who had an excellent first half, very busy, and stolen the ball on 2 or 3 occasions. A long kick there and a beautiful kick from Adam Siddle, the American fly half. Of course, as we recognize in the first half, he's kicking against the wind. And Morales in shot there. Busy first half himself. A couple of drop balls, but that time getting the inside pass away. You see the crowd just building here. And Cortese in the lineout, a 5-man lineout. Whoa, disrupted from the Americans, but it does go to the Argentinian side. Simple hands, Petty in the midfield as he appeared several times in the first half. Escura running across field, but gets away with it. He's helped out by his forwards. And it's Ormson who fills in at the base of the scrum. Great pace on the outside. Look at the work in tight. Argentina lifting those legs. But again, it's been stolen. So the referee saying it was a legal steal. And unfortunately for the U.S. cause, Shalom Suniala kicks that one straight back on top of his forwards. And they're basically impossible for them to get onside, Bob.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Ball goes straight up in the air. You look up, come out of a scrum, you got nowhere to go. It's going to be an offside.
So that's a shank for anyone new to rugby. After the good work from the forwards again, and this is becoming a real issue for the Argentinians. Breakdown turnovers. We've seen Trouville several times. That time I think it may have been Stanfield. In there, getting hands in on their feet and legally allowed to play the ball. But the poor box kick will mean that Fernandez will have a chance to use his left foot to expand that lead. Right now it's 21-14. Three converted tries for Argentina, 2 for the U.S. There's a few of the Canadian fans starting to gather. We are playing on the turf here, so sure footing for Fernandez. And Bob, what's going through his mind right now?
Well, hopefully not a whole lot. He's probably just focusing on one thing. It was a huge effort, but just shaved off the left-hand post.
So I know you're new to the commentary booth, but that's called jinxing the kicker. We've been building him up, and then he misses his first kick of the day. So
that must have happened to me a couple times.
Fernandez letting the U.S. off the hook. 22-meter dropout for the U.S. through Adam Siddle, the Old Blue of New York. Gathered by Isaac. Good inside pass to Morales. Scrappy ball, well cleaned up by Escura. Again, the Argentinians late to arrive at the breakdown. The referee's coming back, saying that for Blue, Cullen had penalized at the breakdown, and now he wants it taken at the point of the infringement. Facundo Isa, the Santiago man, not happy. And I think there's a bit of a hint here, Bob, you can see from some of the head shaking and some of the conversations that the Argentinian is not really happy with the interpretations of Aki at the moment, maybe frustrated.
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, Aki wasn't super fast onto the mark there. You can't really blame Facundo for trying to have a go from where he was.
But that sure kick into the corner from Fernandez. Slightly strapped left leg, his plant foot, but hadn't been a problem in the first half when he was kicking against the wind. Now you see the line out here. That's their first option. Great work from these Argentinian front row forwards in the match so far. Well, the ball's thrown long, just out of shot there. And it is an offload. Guido Petty, Buenos Aires. Lots of options here. 5 meters out. Rolling. He wasn't held, so he's allowed to roll over. Skura gets the ball. Again, it's spilled. Advantage being played to the U.S. The ball knocked on. U.S. secure possession in the box, and that's a great kick too, getting outside the 22-meter line. Long and true from the winger. So Argentina guilty of turnovers in key times. This time a full line out for Argentina. He's working as a unit. There's your target men, 4, 7, and 8. With the bigger men, 1 and 3, looking to support. The call's gone in, the fake to the front, and then it does go to the middle to Ortega Decio. Came off the bench last week against the big victory against Australia. Hernandez is wrapped up and in fact held up by U.S., something they've done really well here. But he does get it back, you can see, with some desperation. Argentina finally getting some go forward here. Good bounce from Diaz. He's pumping the legs. He's looking for the offload. He gets it, but the Americans doing just enough to scrag him, and they've turned it over again through Ali Khalifi. Well, this is quite a problem for Argentina, and they're looking for a breakout here. That's Chad London, a try scorer. Well, just reward for the Americans. The player getting treated on the field, just out of the action there. And the kick comes in. He's outside the 22, so he has to keep it on the field, and he does. Morales bobbles it, but it's gathered up by his wing support. And that's Barea. Exciting stuff. The tackle from behind, the horse collar, which is really legal in rugby. Ormson's brought down, but it's still continuing. Great movement around the outside from Argentina. Really good support to get to the outside of the ball. I can't quite see the try score. But just reward for Argentina, showing some urgency and getting through the middle of the field. And the cramps coming in. There's Hernandez. Wonder if he'll be able to take this kick as he's cramping up here. And I think that's our try score there. Just getting up. It's Dan Isaac from the Jockey Rosario Club. He did really well to see that there was no one covering on the left side. And he worked hard. The Americans trying to regroup under the posts. So that takes the score 26-14. Despite the many turnovers, Bob, Argentina were able to punish that poor kick down the middle of the field with a good break.
Yeah, it wasn't exactly taken cleanly, but the U.S. defense was up in bits and pieces and just gave the opportunity for a counter right through the middle.
Fernandez again, this time just pulling it slightly left. So first blood in the second half here to Argentina. 26 points to 14 they lead with their fourth try. And the American bench trying to stir on that man, Louis Stanfield, their captain. and the rest. It's a short, flat kick. Beautifully gathered by the captain, Rodrigo Baez, and he's off and running. The chip from the try scorer, maybe too much. And a competition for it. The referee's in decent position. He's going to go time off. He's going to ask his touch judge if he can get any help, and that's Chris Asmus, the Canadian. He's going over to have a conversation. It looked like the kick may have been a bit early, and he's awarded the try. So an immediate try from Argentina. A textbook take from Baez off the kickoff. And then I think it was Dan Isaac who came in for what may be his hat-trick try if he got to touch it down. Don't know if we're going to get to see a replay or not, but it was a dive, and it was close, Bob.
Yeah, too tough to tell from the angle we had here, but great take off the kickoff. Up the sidelines. Good decision to turn the ball back inside. Not the greatest pass, but great foot skills.
And that is our try scorer. He's looking to be in a bit of pain. I think if it is him that got it down, that's his third one of the day. Bob, that's the problem with that flat kick, isn't it? If it comes off for you, it's great, but if it isn't,
exactly,
there's no one to defend it.
Exactly. No cover. Everybody's up.
Like to see that. He compensated for that crosswind. Started a bit more to the right and then went down the middle. So 33 points to 14. And this time the message is a bit more blunt from the American bench that's below us. And maybe the message to the kicker will be hang it up there, give us time to get down and compete. And that he's done. Very long and very high. Morales to gather. But he's responded using the wind. Hall. And again, the left foot of Siddle finding space. But Bob, I think a dangerous tactic with the pace and the skill that's at the back of this Argentinian team. And they want to be kicking better. Well done to regather that bobbled ball. Argentina in possession just outside their 22. 10 minutes into the second half. Now they're using the wind going from right to left on your screen. The left foot going high from Hall. And he's done well. He's got it back. Excellent competing in the air. The U.S. lining up at the top of your screen. There's options. Harriman brought down. Very physical. It's been so far in this breakdown area. That's Sumsian, the Brigham Young product. And the referee's coming back. There's some push and shove, and you can see on the far side the touch judge in the orange jersey has his flag out, Bob. And what could this be?
I think it could be a high tackle there. Looked like there was an arm up around one of the U.S.'s neck.
Well, the referee will have a chat with David Smorczewski, the touch judge. Of course, that's a feature of the modern game. Any foul play can be discussed and support can be attained from the sidelines, the assistant officials. And they want to make sure if it was bad. I don't know why it's so long, this conversation, but if there's potentially a card, he's looking at maybe a headbutt. The action from Smorczewski there. And I did see some push and shove, and yeah, I thought it was the Rodrigo Baez who may have taken exception. Referee Aki explaining what's going on here. Wonder if he'll go to the pocket for a sin bin. And he's not. And again, Matias Cortese. Looks like a young Rod Snow there, just telling the referee exactly what he thinks about what's going on. It will be penalty against Argentina. No sin bin. So foul play off the ball, but no further penalty. So at 31 points to 14. Sorry, 33 points to 14. Interesting decision for Stanfield, the captain. And he's chosen to kick down the line. Not a great kick, to be honest, eh, Bob?
No, not a great kick, but I think the decision's right. I mean, the U.S. just can't afford to cough too much possession up to Argentina. They're just doing too much with the ball in hand.
Now set piece line of 5-man line out. The big man off the top ball for Harriman. Good quick ball. The midfield hit up. Louis Stanfield. He's driven back. You don't see that very often. And there's the break from Chad London. Great feet on him. We saw him score a try in the first half. That time brought down 15 meters out. And unfortunately, he kills the momentum as he's trying to get back into the play. Suniala trying to get those hard yards. That's a low pass, and it is knocked on. Yeah, just a poor pass from the American scrum half there. And there's some subs coming on the field, so a spade of them. On for Argentina, Juan Cruz Guyaman, Ignacio Brex, and Federico Jimenez. So, Argentinian coach maybe not happy with the turnovers, maybe not happy with some of the ill discipline on the field. And indeed, the hat-trick man, Dan Isaac, has come off the field. He was nursing something, so he's no longer a factor, having put 3 on the board, as is Morales. He's come off, the fullback. So 2 backs and 1 forward on the field as fresh legs for Argentina. Look at that, not even a strike down the middle of that scrum. They don't need to when they're this strong.
It's impressive scrummaging.
Reverse angle there. Working up the right-hand side. Ruck ball. Some simple team calls going in now. The pick and go from the Argentinian forwards. Baez wrapped up immediately, but still on his feet. Referee is stopping his watch. He's going to his pocket. I think he's going to penalize an American, and I don't really know why. He's pointing to the sin bin. The yellow card comes out, and I wonder if there may have been a previous warning to the Americans for hands in the ruck. I think that's a rash decision, and I wonder if all of this chatter from the Argentinians has actually got inside the referee's head.
Yeah, it could be. You know, it's wily veteran move by Cortese there in Aki's ear, and could result in the U.S. yellow card. Be nice to see what happened there.
Those of you new to rugby, U.S. will be short for 10 minutes. That's a sin bin penalty. They'll have no replacement allowed to come on the field, so advantage to Argentina, not only for the extra man, but now that long kick with the wind at their back. So a huge interpretation there from referee Aki. So, Bob, when you're playing one short, what are the things you're looking to do? What's the problems for you as a team?
Well, I mean, you know, U.S. has got their hands full here. They're a little bit behind the 8 ball anyway. Argentina's playing well, but they're just going to try to have to be patient, play some good defense, keep the ball in hand as much as possible, and if you can, get out of their own end.
Right, and they are indeed on the 22 of the U.S. Alemano, the more line-out ball. Now the midfield pairing trying to link up. That's Ormson and Paz. They haven't done a great deal today. The hand is out from the referee for an infringement from U.S., so it's advantage being played. Escura digging it out. He misses out Hernandez. Facunda Isa. Again, hands in the ruck by U.S. They'll come back to the original penalty, offside at the ruck. So referee definitely turned on the Americans at this stage. It's a very kickable kick to expand that lead. There's some discussion here, and they have pointed to the post. They'll ask Patricio Fernandez to take this on.
Bit of an interesting decision there, to be honest. U.S. is down a man up front, and I think a kick to the corner and apply some pressure would be the way to go.
And with the score 33-14.
Yeah, exactly.
Just expanding that lead. Gusty wind here in Langford. Clean strike and straight down the middle, just like you used to do in Bob.
On occasion, on occasion.
There we are. He's been important for them today, and he keeps that scoreboard ticking over. 36 points to 14. Argentina in the lead in the opening match here of the Americans Rugby Championship in Langford, just north of Victoria in British Columbia. Thank you for joining us. It's great to have you here. If you've got any comments, I'm at GReese10 on your Twitter. Let us know what you think about the feed, and give us some comments, anything you want to see. We're back in the action. Argentina kicking long. and U.S. attacking wide. Try scorer, Mopan, immediately dropped. U.S. late to get back. Again, Argentina solid in the midfield. Good miss out pass. Cullen doing well to stay on the field. He had a good break early on in the first half. There's Stanfield, the spin move. Argentina immediately on it. I don't think he's allowed the player to present the ball. Cullen again stepping out of the tackle, just tripped up at the last second. Good tight work from Simpson. And more clean out from the U.S. This is excellent work. We're into 6 phases. But it's the U.S. who are slower to regroup here, so we have less options. And as we said earlier, that's what happens. It's a well-weighted kick. It does go into touch, though. So possession back to Argentina, but excellent play as a few American players get some treatment on the field. I think that's Big Cullen, who had a couple of big runs. He seems to have some kind of a lower body and ankle injury. Just to the bottom of your screen. There he is. He may be done for the day. He looked in a lot of discomfort there, Bob.
Yeah, looks like I might have turned his ankle. But that's just the kind of thing we were talking about. The USA's got to keep that ball in hand and be patient when they're down a man.
So maybe his second row buddies will give him some grief for all those runs there, but he's off the field. So U.S. already one short because of the sin bin. We'll need to look to replace him immediately. Argentina won a scrappy line out, just 5 meters from their own line. There comes the box kick from the scrum half. Oh, it's a well-weighted kick, and it's found space. This is trouble for U.S. And it's gathered by Argentina. The substitute doing great stuff. That's Brex. And look at this option. Hernandez with a 50-50 dive. He's appealing for it like a soccer player. Referee saying play on. It's nudged through by the other substitute, and he got the bounce, and that was Jimenez. So despite Hernandez's protestations, the referee coming back. He's saying there was a knock on. So it's off the Argentinian's hand. It won't be a try. He's coming all the way back to the 22 and will give the U.S. the put in. So Argentinian saying it went off my knee. Not very convincing. And there's Louis Stanfield taking his time to perhaps plant a seed in the referee's mind. So a well-weighted kick out of attack there, Bob. And sometimes there's holes there when you're deep in your own line to get a good kick in play.
Exactly. I think the USA winger was anticipating a deeper kick with that wind, and found space just in front of him, caused some problems.
Well, here we go. Big scrum for the U.S. Currently down 36 points to 14. They need to get back in this one. Just coming up on the halfway point of this first half. And Bob, how's it tough? You want to get back in the game, but you can't chase the game and take high-risk maneuvers. What will the Americans be thinking at this stage?
Well, as tough as it is when you're down 33 or 37-14, you have to just stay patient. You really do. There's enough time. You put another score on the board, and good things can happen here. But the last thing they need to do is take too many chances.
Good point, and a solid scrum there from the U.S. Again, they use Suniala midfield. Time looks like maybe they're going to the boot. His brother puts it up high, but perhaps a bit too long. Indeed it is, as Jimenez gathers. And this could be trouble if it goes wide. There's extra men in white and blue jerseys. Maybe a bit selfish there from Brex, not releasing the ball. But it's all Argentina at the moment. Good step from Isa. All sorts of options for the scrum half at this stage. And this one goes wide. Baez. Over the top, beautiful pass to the prop. Diaz, well, not so beautiful, I guess, as it went forward. And more substitutes coming on the field. That's 6 in total. So 2 new props coming in. Tijarizo and Martinez. And they're, I guess, with the 3 matches in 8 days here, Bob, The coach is just trying to rest their players and keep them all fresh.
Yeah, and get guys in to get their hands on the ball and get a little confidence going here as the tournament goes on.
You also see at the back of the scrum that big number 20 for Argentina. That's Francisco Panesi, the Jockey Club of Cordoba. Americans just getting a bit of treatment there. They got to give credit to the American scrum. They were under a bit of pressure early on. They seem to have sorted it out, and they haven't put their fresh legs in there yet.
But it could be time. Another reset here. This isn't really hurting the U.S. when they're down a man. Take a little extra time, chew up that clock. Siddall sitting behind the scrum, shaping up to kick by the looks of it, but you never know.
Well, big spin there, eh? And the Argentinians penalized for not driving straight. Full penalty. So those fresh legs may be a bit keen, Bob, as there's 5 of them in the pack. They wanted to get things going.
Yeah, a little disrupted. Throwing some new guys. It's not always a cohesive unit right off the bat.
Ooh, that ball's stayed, and if he touches that, he'll be offside. This is trouble, and they're all still offside. The referee needs to interpret that, and he hasn't. The U.S. have possession. Show and go from Ali Khalife. Oh, a big hit there, but he stays on his feet.
Oh.
Kyle Sumsion, who's been outstanding carrying the ball today. And the referee coming back for a penalty, not releasing the tackler. And Suniel has been guilty of going in the past. So a very kickable penalty. But with the score 36-14, interesting decision. Stanfield telling his kicker what he wants, and he wants it in the corner. What you call, Bob?
I agree. That was a massive hit from Diaz, but he has paid the price. He's back up and out, but holy.
Yeah.
That was some solid contact.
Right around the knee area. And we do have a substitute on the field. That's Zach Vinoglio, the Glendale Raptor. He's come on at hooker because of the Sinman. Oh, sorry. Phil Teal stayed in the game, so Vinoglio has come on. Different position. They've gone to the back, and this time he's hit him. And they've gone off the top. Interesting. With one short, you thought they might have driven the ball there. And good footwork and a good offload out the back door. But it wasn't to be. So, Bob, interesting decision there. They did try to go wide and attack the Argentinians on the fringes.
Yeah, well, I like their confidence to do that. And, but for a slight handling error on the outside, they were in.
And U.S. also bringing on big Brian Doyle's on the field from the New York Athletic Club. Argentina secure possession at 2. They're so good at that when they need it, eh, Bob?
Yep.
And they're actually turning it into a bit of attack. They're driving through. Really well organized, good communication. High hanging box kick. Competing in the air. I think fair. Both players were going for it. Referee saying it was knocked on by blue. Dark blue. So the U.S. guilty of knocking on. And Bob, it's the Argentina in control of this one. So healthy, the rugby that's going on there. We obviously talked about the big win, the first ever in the rugby championship. But so much going on domestically in Argentina. You know, they got 5 high performance centers, 7 centers of rugby, 8 academies. They have over 100 players playing professionally in Europe, so I think it's really a team to watch in the next World Cup. And you and I have both been down there on tours. It's great to see what a big part of that culture of rugby is down there.
Yeah, it is. I mean, they've had an incredible domestic product long before they had any of these centers of excellence or whatever down there. It's been that way for a very, very long time.
The other thing that's great to see and is that they force all of these players who are training full time to study, to keep something else going on in their lives. As we both know, it's important.
Absolutely.
And a great model really for the rest of the world to ensure. Oh, there's a shove that should be penalized by Matias Diaz, and how a referee can stand there and allow a player to do that means I think he's lost touch. That's a penalty. That's retaliation. Aki, I think, has been talked into a few calls here by the more experienced Argentinian players. So, and the problem with that, the next phase, Bob, is it just is breeding frustration. The American sees that nothing was done about that cheap shot.
Yeah.
And how it'll manifest itself in a couple of minutes here.
Yeah, exactly. It certainly could do. Hopefully not, but it lends itself to that for sure.
Back to the action. Cortese's still in the match. This time a one-handed tap down from Alemano. Ball's knocked on midfield in the tackle by U.S. But Argentina very positive here, trying to use the advantage in attack. Substitute Guyaman driving hard. Oh, looking to run before he caught it there, I think, Rodrigo Baez. And finally some possession again for Philly Kitonga out wide. Another chop tackle from the sub, and that ball's lost by Phil Teal after a bit of fatigue there. And this is a kick and chase. There's two of them on it. Off the side foot, the soccer skills coming into play here. Can he get the bounce? I'm sure he will. He's got enough time. And Hernandez, he's done it with the boot, and now he's done it on the field with a kick and chase try made from turnover ball by the U.S. team.
Yeah, great try. U.S. looked like they may just be running out of gas a little bit with being a man down.
Yeah, that's when it takes its toll, doesn't it? And there's some pretty significant stats of when a man's off the field that the other team scores a lot of points. And here's the replay, Bob. And just a chip and chase. This was the end after they got it in behind, and he showed good patience there.
Yeah, he could have, went for a little bit of a panic station, try to pick it up and knock it on, but he just took his time, knew he had the time.
Well, what a turn of events as it looked like Philly Kitonga maybe having a break up the right-hand side and getting back into this game for the U.S. It's the opposite, and the lead has expanded to 41-14 with Hernandez's kick to come. He's been a points machine today. It's one thing about the turf, you do get a true bounce here. And I know the first year of the ARC, both the Uruguayans and the Argentines took some getting used to for them, but now they love it.
Another great kick.
Whoa. Rightfully so, he's protesting, and it's two goal kickers up here, Bob.
Well,
that was a good kick.
He made it from my angle.
Yeah, that was definitely good. Well, bizarre. David Smorczewski on that right post saying it wasn't good. There we go. I don't think it'll be a factor in this one as just over 10 minutes to go. 41-14, Argentina leads, claiming the first lead in this tournament and making a statement. A tournament they've won 3 times, the last 3 years here, the ARC tournament in Victoria, British Columbia. They're in charge. Elements of their play have been clinical. There have been some mistakes, but the Americans haven't been able to capitalize on enough of them. Again, the U.S. trying to hold up the attacker, and they've done that. Oh, and there's an Argentinian lifting the leg. That is dangerous play, and he should be sin bin for that. The referees missed it for some reason. It's right in front of him. Ortega de Cio picking up the leg and destabilizing the player. That's dangerous stuff. But he will have a scrum to the U.S.
Yeah, a penalty at minimum.
Yeah. So, with substitutes on the field, Ben Tarr in the game for U.S. at prop. Ben Pinkelman, the youngster, the U20 player, showing real promise on the flank, the near side there. You see with the tape on his knee. He's a man to watch for the U.S. It will be a U.S. put in. Midfield scrum. They've got both sides to attack. Can they conjure up something? Poor pass from the base. Well cleaned up by the American fullback. I've been impressed with him. He's been busy. Troy Hall doing all he can with the possession he's got today. Suniala from the base. Really deep, that first receiver, so the defense able to set up and drift off. Siddle. Again, slow ball, and Siddle's really deep. He's not playing on the line here, so his runners won't be happy with him because it means the Argentinians can tee off on him. This is better. A little flatter ball required from the U.S. Again, Siddle very much in the pocket. And it's gone backwards. And Bob, explain to the viewers. Oh, a quick line out. Sorry, we'll stay with the action here. That's Panesi. Quick running. U.S. turn it over. And they're coming back. Big Brian Doyle, the NYAC player. The Argentinian player is offside. It has been signaled. I don't know why. There's not a lot of advantage here. Siddle turning it back inside. Simple hands to the top of the screen, and this man has been busy. Hey, big John Cullen from Seattle, now playing in Seattle. Very impressive on the ball, covers a lot of ground. That one's gone backwards, play on, says the ref. U.S. putting phases together but not gaining any territory, and that's perhaps why the tactic is to go high, but it hasn't been done well. Scrappy stuff from both teams, finally gathered by Jimenez. He goes down and trying to settle things down, perhaps wisely, is Brian Ormson, the man from Buenos Aires. He's looking to put that ball in the corner. In fact, he's put it dead. So a scrappy period of play from both sides. And Bob, as we look at the American attack, why is it crucial that that first receiver, the fly half, can't be so deep? I mean, what is that doing for the attack?
Well, yeah, I mean, as you saw there, the fly half was taking the ball deep, not really going forward. He just gives the defense time to come up and take away all your space. You like to see a 10.
Oh, big drop goal. Sorry, Bob.
No.
What a strike. Just falling short. Well, I think he's been watching old tapes of Wales versus Canada in 1992. Well, that's interesting. I think Hernandez is that kind of player, Bob.
I guess so. I guess so. Why not?
He's got a try and a conversions, and
he's going for the cycle.
Going for the 50-meter drop goal. And the referee's got a smile on there. That ball went forward. But just getting back to that point, I think it's been an issue for the U.S. to getting the attack going.
Yeah, they just haven't had, we talk about being on the front foot and getting into the defense quickly. They just haven't really had much of that in the second half. It'd be nice to see Siddle just sort of take the ball a little flatter, commit some of the inside defenders, and make the defense sort of sit back on their feet a little bit.
So midfield scrum again. Again, the U.S. backs just to the left of your screen are really deep. Winding down here the last few minutes. So really now this game isn't going to be won at the score 41-14 for U.S. Free kick to U.S. here. They'll just want to build some momentum before their midweek game against Canada. Big tilt on Wednesday night, Canada-U.S. So U.S. will want to build some pressure. And guess who's got his hands on the ball? And guess who's winning collisions? That's John Cullen. He's been immense out there, and Canada will have to deal with him running with the ball. Good work from the youngster.
Ooh.
Oh, there's a head-high tackle. Referee letting it go again. Quick pick from Sumsian. I tell you, when the U.S. have got quick ball, they've looked good, but when it goes behind the scrum, they're just a little too deep in attack. The fullback again taking it up hard. Hall. Suniala going back the other way. This time, Angus McClellan, the Davenport University player. Oh, Argentina intentionally killing the ball there. Don't know why there's not a sin bin for that. Suniala wants to go quickly, and he has. Oh, great step off the right foot. Ooh.
No hands
Well,
in that tackle.
Yeah, and the referee has stopped the clock, and I wonder if he may go to the pocket now. Suniala showing beautiful 7 skills there, up on his toes. Polynesian influence, the boys from Auckland. Great step. After the play, the referee having a word to the right of your screen there, and there's the yellow card saying that he dump tackled him, I guess, and that's the center. Brian Ormson, the man from Buenos Aires. He'll be shown an early shower, effectively, Bob, as there's only a couple of minutes left in this one.
Yeah.
Not wrapping the arms was the signal there. So in rugby, of course, you must try and wrap and hold the arms. U.S. looking to bring another substitute on the field. Nate Augsburger, another Old Blue of New York. Here he comes. He'll come on at scrum half and replace Shalom Suniala, himself with the 5 caps, and now down in Seattle just about 2 hours from here. Lots going on in Seattle rugby at the moment. Cerevi Rugby down there doing good things, and the Seattle Saracens very strong and playing in the BC Premiership up here. So they're no stranger to playing matches in Victoria and Vancouver and British Columbia. But it is a scrum midfield, U.S. A big counter scrum from Argentina, but the ball's away. Oh, changed his mind at the last minute. Maybe the right decision, but Ignacio Brex from San Cirano reacted well. Box kick goes up to another substitute. This is Peter Stanfield. No relation to his captain. Also based in Seattle. There's the chip through. A little bit deep. Hernandez will just gather, well, and offload the pressure to someone else. But good support. That's the patience you're talking about, Bob. They're just keeping their feet. They're not panicking, waiting until the troops arrive. They've secured possession, and now a big long kick with the wind off Hernandez's left foot.
Yeah. And that could do it, actually. I'm not sure. It's getting pretty close.
Yeah, which we must say, although he scored points, a lot of them today, he won't be the man of the match, but it will be the hat-trick man. We believe he's got a hat-trick. Dan Isaac from the Jockey Rosario Club. He got 3 tries. He's on the bench right now, but he will be the man of the match here in the first game of America's Rugby Championship. So congratulations to Dan Isaac, the Argentinian winger. And time off here for a little bit of cramping. Both these teams traveled in here. The Americans via Seattle, but the Argentinians right up the 2 continents. So there's some fatigue. Good, happy to get this first game out of the way. But it's Argentina at the moment, as he did in the first play of the game. Suniala hitting it up midfield, and the comeback ball is knocked on. So I think for Coach Mike Tolkien, he's got a lot of players in this game, Bob, but too many mistakes. Although there's been some good turnover play and some good set piece play, probably too many turnovers for their liking.
Yeah, you just can't afford to do that against a quality side like Argentina. They're just going to make you pay for it, and they've done that repeatedly.
They have, and I think they've shown us, as they did last year here at the ARC, real danger men outside. If there's any loose ball, they love the chip and chase on this turf, and they bring real pace to it. But add to that this big pack that's done so well. Not perhaps as clinical as they should have been come line-out time and at the breakdown, but some real big names: Noguera, Diaz, Alemano, Baez, Ortega Decio, Isa. They've been ever present and really busy around the field.
Absolutely. I think they'll be happy with their performance. Being the first game of the tournament, guys coming in from here and there, they're going to be a handful for sure.
Argentina, of course, face their continental partners, Uruguay, who, as we said earlier, have a great day for Uruguayan rugby. They've qualified for the World Cup in 2015 in England. Congratulations to them. They will be next up here against Canada, and very important that Canada get off the mark. But Uruguay will be buzzing, and that'll do it here. The final whistle from referee Aki. In the end, it's 41 points to 14. Argentina the victors. Bobby, some final thoughts on how you think this tournament may play out for these two teams?
Well, as I just said, Argentina is likely the class of the tournament, so they're going to be a force to reckon with for sure. USA, they're probably not quite as happy as they would have been. They didn't execute as well, but there's still going to be a handful for Canada on Wednesday.
Exactly. So, of course, 2 more days of rugby left here at the ARC Championship, Wednesday the 15th and Sunday, October the 19th. So great to see. Good to see the camaraderie that always exists, even though this is international rugby and your country's honor is on the line. The handshakes are coming in, and some scenes building as Canada is set to play in just about 40 minutes here. So always one of the great things, Bob, about international rugby. It doesn't matter how hard you fought, no matter how many big collisions you've had, there's always this camaraderie, this shared experience of putting on that international jersey together.
Yeah, absolutely, and there's a lot of respect amongst all the players out there. It's a big thing to take the field for your country, and all these guys want to perform and do their best, and there's a lot of hard hits, but at the end of the day, there's a ton of respect as well.
And as you said, as the U.S. team in the dark blue jerseys leaves the field, gets well-earned applause from the home crowd here, and we see the Argentinians put their hand up strongly as favorites here, but we're just going to go back now down onto the sideline over to Brian Kelly, who's got the American player with him. Brian.
Thanks very much, guys. Brian Kelly down on the sideline here with USA fly half Adam Siddall. Obviously not the result you were looking for here today. What can you tell me about your team's performance?
We came out and we made a lot of mistakes. Argentina put pressure on us at set piece, and they reaped the benefits of that, basically. So we'll look at working and correcting those things for next week. For Wednesday, so that we come out and we're a little bit more solid and we can put phases together.
Big game, big rivalry against Canada on Wednesday night. What do you guys need to do to prepare for that one?
I think we need to analyze this game, cut out our mistakes, and then get back to our basics. Scrum lineup, make sure that's clean, and then I think we proved today that when we move the ball, we can be pretty dangerous and we can score some tries. So I think we'll be looking to build on that.
Great, thanks so much. All the best on Wednesday.
Well, there it is, Adam Siddall, the American fly half. Great to see him back in action. Of course, he was out with the concussion and missed most of the summer play, but his team not able to get it done. They got 2 tries on the board, but it wasn't enough. The Argentinians putting up 41 points, and let's hear now from their center, who's with Brian down on the field.
And we're back here inside center for Argentina, Brian Ormiston. Great result to start off the tournament. What can you say about your team's performance?
Yes, hopefully we won the match. I think we played a great game. We needed to start like this, so we're very happy with that. And we knew it was going to be a very physical game, but it's important for us to start winning.
Next game is against your South American rivals, Uruguay. What do you guys need to do to keep the positive momentum moving forward?
I think that it's very important to have the ball and play our game and manage from the start to the final.
Great. Thank you much, Brian. All the best on Wednesday. And we're going to take a quick break here, everyone, and we'll be back with Canada against Uruguay in Game 2 on Day 1 of the IRB America's Rugby Championship from Westhills Stadium in Langford.